we also come to realize that since the Deluge was a lion-faced serpent, that it's highly possible that his mother was a lioness. And because if you also understand that it still holds replete in the biological or in the environmental system, that lions, that the women are actually the one that are leading the pride, going to hunt and doing all these things. So in the feline thing, the woman is at the head. That's the matriarchal culture. So even if the son is running around, masquerading around, it's still his mother that is holding all the power. And that's what I was saying before about, and I didn't finish my thought, but I think that when they're also, if the mother is upset, because, you know, you can't imagine that it's always bliss, right? Like we're pushing for that. So if you're wondering, hey, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to do, Sevan? Keep sending love to the mother and letting her, just convincing her to do the bliss one. Because it looks to me that the other one, because the bliss one is probably more like fire, right? Like, it's like, I think anybody in the orgasm probably realize that it gets very electric in that stage, right? And then you just kind of like crescendo into a climax. The other one seems to be opposite. It actually seems to be a deluge. For lack of better words, and I guess that's why mother has seemed to be so coarse at times, is that she drowned everybody. She actually drowned the Nephilim, or the Beni Elohim, actually. So very specifically, when we're starting to see these male gods and all male gods, it's because that they're trying to re-engineer the system. But it was a female god. She was that is the ocean. And when the Nephilim were corrupting all the forms, meaning eating the things, they were fighting amongst themselves. There were 3 grades of the cherubim that were born. And those 3 grades were predators against each other and constantly engaged in warfare, and ravaged also the humans, which were seeded and planted here, and ravaged many of the animals. And when this went on to the point where what you're calling Gaia, whose Leb came in to regulate, she regulated by uncorking what we're in. So basically she opened up the womb and allowed all of the water from the outside of the space to flood into the inside of the space, thus ending life except for the highest mountains and the highest reaches of the plains. And this is also what the Tibetans are saying, that the reason why they're there in the Himalayas is because they learned the first time, like, yo, if they clown too much. They say here also in Chiripo that there's a group of monks that are doing the same thing, and that it's in the monk annuals that they know if it doesn't work out, it's going to be water. If it works out, it's going to be fire in our terminology. And that is like a bliss where, if you notice, again, when you're going through a healing, you start to cry. Is everybody aware of that? If you ever start going through a healing, you start to cry. You feel this huge emotional surge, right? And that's a part of the healing process. So that's what if the Messiah returns would look like. Now, again, this could happen at any time within you. That's why they were saying you could always raise the Christ. And that was the teaching about how you could basically raise the Kundalini to heal yourself from all of these different things that I've been explaining during this conversation.